Far beyond the known territories of the galaxy, in a remote and shadowy corner where stars seemed fewer and the cold of space grew deeper, a sleek alien scout ship from the mighty Zarketh Empire glided silently toward an unfamiliar star system. The Zarketh were proud warriors and explorers, famed across many star clusters for their strength and relentless ambition. Their current mission was straightforward: survey the planets in this new system, gather intelligence, and prepare for future conquest if the opportunity arose. As the scout ship drew closer to the third planet, a beautiful blue-green orb known by its inhabitants as Earth, the onboard sensors began picking up signals that startled even the experienced crew. Unlike any they had encountered before, Earth was surrounded by a complex web of advanced defensive networks that pulsed with energy signatures, unlike anything found in their part of the galaxy. The layers of protection seemed almost alive, shifting and adapting, suggesting technology far beyond simple planetary shields. The ship's captain, a seasoned officer named Korath, frowned as he studied the readings. He had expected a weak world, one ripe for swift domination, not this dense, invisible fortress of power. Just as Korath prepared to send a detailed report back to the Zarketh High Command, their communications console crackled to life and a strange signal broke through the static. It was a transmission unlike any other. No star charts, no coordinates, just a voice calm but grave, speaking in a language both alien and ancient. From the darkness of space, a lone figure appeared on the view screen, an envoy shrouded in a cloak that shimmered like liquid night, their identity hidden. The envoy's words were clear and chilling. "Do not attack the humans, you will never escape their wrath." The message hung in the air like a heavy storm cloud. The crew exchanged uneasy glances. Some whispered that it was a warning from an unknown ally of the humans, others feared it might be a trap or a clever trick. Captain Korath, ever practical and dismissive of superstition, ordered the transmission recorded and analyzed but told his crew to continue their mission without hesitation. Yet beneath his calm exterior, a quiet doubt began to grow. How could a seemingly primitive species inspire such fear? What power did these humans truly hold? As the scout ship moved into a closer orbit, strange phenomena continued to puzzle them. Subtle shifts in gravitational fields, unexplained energy bursts and sensors picking up faint but steady pulses of unknown origin. The more they learned, the clearer it became that Earth was not simply a backwater world but a place that had been quietly preparing for threats far beyond its solar system. Unknown to the Zarketh, humans had spent decades secretly developing technology, alliances, and defense systems that could rival even the greatest empires. From hidden orbital platforms to autonomous fleets lurking beyond sight, from artificial intelligences that predicted enemy strategies to weapon systems designed not for war, but for swift and decisive defense, humanity had been ready all along. The scout ship's crew, initially confident in their superiority, found themselves caught in a growing tension between duty and unease. The forbidden warning echoed repeatedly in their minds, like a dark prophecy they wished they could ignore, but could not. As the ship prepared to leave Earth's orbit and return with their findings, Captain Korath took one last glance at the planet below. Its swirling oceans, vibrant cities glowing beneath the clouds, and the quiet strength hidden beneath its surface. Somewhere deep inside, he sensed that the true story of this blue world was far from over, and that humanity's wrath was not just a threat, but a promise that would soon change the galaxy forever. The Zarketh Empire, confident in their strength and experience, dispatched an exploratory strike team toward Earth's distant outer colonies, expecting to find a scattered and easy target. But what awaited them was far from the submission they had anticipated. As their sleek warships approached the outskirts of human space, they were met with a sudden, precise, and overwhelming resistance. Human forces emerged swiftly from the shadows of asteroid belts and hidden orbital platforms, employing advanced technology that seemed almost invisible to Zarketh sensors. These defenders moved with incredible speed and accuracy, disabling enemy ships by targeting critical systems without causing unnecessary destruction. The attacks were calculated, designed to neutralize threats efficiently rather than to annihilate. It was clear the humans did not want war. They wanted to defend their home with intelligence and restraint, a fact underscored when a powerful, clear message was broadcast across the empty battle space. We do not seek conflict, but we will fiercely protect our own. The Zarketh strike team, confused and frustrated, found themselves unable to land a decisive blow. Their technology, once feared as unmatched, was struggling against this mysterious blend of stealth, speed, and strategy. After a tense standoff, the humans captured a Zarketh officer, bringing him aboard their command ship for questioning. Under calm and controlled interrogation, the captured officer shared the story of the cloaked envoy who had warned them against attacking the humans. The Zarketh had dismissed the warning as superstition, but now the chilling words took on new meaning in the cold light of defeat. Earth's leaders, composed and measured, revealed the true depth of their preparations. For decades, humanity had studied alien threats, learning from conflicts across the galaxy and developing a powerful defense system known as the Wrath Protocol. This strategy was not about endless war or conquest. It was a calculated plan designed to end conflicts swiftly and decisively, ensuring the survival of all life on Earth. The Wrath Protocol integrated cutting-edge AI, predictive algorithms, and autonomous defense fleets, allowing humans to act with speed and precision, striking before threats could grow. As the Zarketh officer listened, he realized that Earth was not the primitive world they had imagined. Instead, it was a planet armed with intelligence, unity, and a resolve that could crush even the most advanced aggressors. The captured Zarketh began to understand that the warning from the mysterious envoy was not a threat to be ignored, but a promise of the terrible consequences awaiting those who dared challenge humanity. The strike team's failure weighed heavily on the Empire, and whispers began to spread among the ranks. To attack the humans was not only dangerous, it was reckless, potentially suicidal. For the first time, doubt replaced arrogance, and caution began to take root in Zarketh hearts. The humans had sent a clear message. While they sought peace, they were prepared to unleash a wrath that would protect their home at any cost. The galaxy's balance of power was shifting, and the Zarketh Empire was forced to reconsider its place in a universe where humanity was no longer to be underestimated. As the Zarketh Empire's confidence hardened, convinced their vast military might would overwhelm Earth's defenses, the situation across the galaxy began to reach a boiling point. The Zarketh launched their full invasion force, a massive armada that moved swiftly and with brutal intent toward human-held star systems. However, Earth was not unprepared for this show of force. Calmly and with cold precision, Earth's leaders gave the order to activate the Wrath Protocol, a plan decades in the making and their most guarded secret. Instantly, coordinated strikes erupted from concealed human fleets scattered throughout multiple star systems. These forces, hidden behind cloaking fields and shielded by advanced stealth technology, struck simultaneously at the core of the Zarketh's command network. Human warships disabled key enemy command vessels, severing lines of communication and spreading chaos through the invaders' ranks. What set humanity apart was not simply the power of their weapons, but the extraordinary use of strategy and technology working in perfect harmony. Advanced artificial intelligence systems integrated with quantum computing processed vast streams of data in real time, predicting enemy maneuvers before they could be executed. This predictive capacity allowed the human commanders to dismantle the Zarketh invasion plans piece by piece, like a master strategist, removing each critical element from an opponent's defense. Battles were fought with precision strikes rather than reckless power, each move calculated to maximize impact while minimizing unnecessary destruction. Beyond technology, the human forces exhibited an unbreakable spirit and cooperation that transcended individual ships or commanders. Every pilot, engineer, and soldier understood their role within a larger whole, trusting the system and each other to carry out a shared mission. As the conflict escalated, the galaxy watched in stunned silence. Stories of Earth's unstoppable defense and the sudden overwhelming retaliation spread through interstellar channels faster than the speed of light. The invincible aura once surrounding the Zarketh fleet began to crack. Forced onto the defensive, the invading armada suffered heavy losses, its retreat marked by the destruction of flagship after flagship. The retreat was no longer a controlled fallback, but a desperate scramble to preserve what remained. This stunning reversal of fortune did more than save human space. It reshaped how countless species viewed Earth. The legend of the humans' wrath spread quickly, from whispered rumors among traders to urgent messages sent across galactic alliances. Potential enemies reconsidered their ambitions, now wary of provoking a force that seemed to combine human ingenuity, unity, and sheer determination into something greater than the sum of its parts. The Zarketh Empire, once proud and unyielding, was forced into a reluctant truce, its leaders aware that underestimating humanity had been a grave error. In this new chapter of galactic history, Earth's rise was no longer just about survival. It was about asserting a presence that demanded respect. The Wrath Protocol had been unleashed, and with it humanity announced that their era had begun, not with conquest, but with the fierce protection of everything they held dear. The Galactic Council found itself in turmoil as Earth's rapid rise, in power and influence, shook the very foundations of the galaxy's long-standing order. In the Grand Chamber, representatives from dozens of species argued fiercely over how to deal with the humans, whose technological advancements and strategic brilliance had upended centuries of balance. Some council members urged caution and diplomacy, believing that it might be possible to integrate Earth peacefully into the galactic community if approached with respect and understanding. Others, still clinging to their old beliefs of dominance, advocated for a preemptive strike, hoping to crush humanity before its strength became truly unstoppable. Amid this political storm, a desperate message arrived from the Zarketh Empire, now humbled by their defeat. The Zarketh leaders sent urgent warnings to the Council, describing Earth's unmatched resolve, its carefully controlled but overwhelming power, and the devastating consequences of underestimating the humans. The message carried a grave tone. Attacking Earth would lead to ruin, not victory. Behind closed doors, Earth's diplomats made their presence known, offering a path to peace but with a firm and clear message. They invited the Council to discuss cooperation and mutual benefit, but warned that any act of aggression against human colonies or interests would be met with swift and absolute defense. This was no empty threat. It was a promise born from the harsh lessons humanity had learned in its own past and the hard-won knowledge of its own strength. The Council, still divided and suspicious, soon witnessed the consequences of defying that warning, when a small faction launched a covert attack on one of Earth's distant outer colonies. What followed was a breathtaking display of human military efficiency and resolve. The attackers were met with a response so rapid and devastating that they had no chance to regroup or escape. Human forces deployed advanced strike teams and AI-driven drones that neutralized enemy ships with precision strikes designed to minimize collateral damage, but guarantee total mission success. This counterattack was a message not just to the attackers but to the entire galaxy. Humanity's wrath was no mindless fury, but a measured, controlled force of justice. It was a power wielded not for conquest or cruelty, but for the protection of all life under human care. Gradually, the Galactic Council's stance began to shift. The recognition grew that Earth was no longer just a rising threat to be feared or eliminated. Instead, the humans were becoming something entirely different, guardians who could maintain peace through strength and fairness. The old dynamics of control and fear gave way to a cautious respect. Ambassadors from other species started to see Earth not as an enemy but as a potential leader, one who could unite disparate worlds under common goals without resorting to tyranny or domination. The Council's reckoning marked a turning point for the galaxy, signaling the end of an era ruled by fragile alliances and secret fears, and the beginning of a new chapter where humanity stood as a beacon of power tempered by responsibility. The echoes of this realization spread far beyond the Council chambers, touching star systems once indifferent or hostile to Earth. The galaxy was learning that the humans' wrath was not something to provoke, but their leadership was something to seek. And as the stars watched on, a new balance was being forged, one that promised a future shaped not by endless war, but by the disciplined strength and principled resolve of a species that refused to be broken. As the dust of past conflicts settled, Across the stars, Earth rose not as a conqueror but as a unifying force, guiding the galaxy into an era unlike any before. Former enemies, once poised for battle, now stood shoulder to shoulder with humans, exchanging knowledge, technology, and hope. The walls built by fear and misunderstanding began to crumble, replaced by bridges forged from respect and shared purpose. Earth's leadership was not imposed by power alone, but earned through the clear demonstration that true strength meant protecting life, preserving freedom, and fostering progress rather than dominating others. Across countless star systems, voices spoke of the new galactic alliance, an unprecedented coalition bound by the principles of mutual defense and collective advancement. It was a council where no single species claimed supremacy, but all pledged to defend one another against threats both internal and external. The humans, once dismissed as primitive and insignificant, had become the galaxy's guardians, their actions proving that courage paired with compassion could reshape the future. Their legendary warning, "Attack the humans, and you will never escape their wrath," transformed into more than a threat. It became a solemn promise that peace was protected by a vigilant, unstoppable force. This phrase echoed through space, reminding every civilization that unity was the key to survival and growth, and that humanity's wrath was not reckless destruction, but a shield for all who sought harmony. As new alliances formed and old grudges faded, the galaxy's horizons expanded with possibilities. Research stations blossomed into centers of innovation, trade routes became lifelines of cultural exchange, and once isolated planets found themselves woven into a vast network of cooperation. Admiral Layla Tran, standing before a gathering of over 100 species on the Martian conference grounds, spoke with calm conviction. "We do not claim to rule, but we vow to protect. Together, we ensure that no one stands alone against the darkness." Her words resonated deeply, signaling a future where strength was measured not by weapons alone but by the ability to unite diverse voices into a chorus of peace. Even the stars seemed to shine brighter under this new era, as if bearing witness to a galactic community reborn through humanity's unwavering spirit. The galaxy had witnessed the rise of a species that could have destroyed or been destroyed, but chose instead to lead with honor, wisdom, and an unbreakable will. In this fragile yet hopeful balance, the legacy of Earth's wrath was not a mark of fear, but a beacon of hope, proof that true power lies in standing firm for what is right, and protecting the unity that binds all life together.